December 10th, 2025. 50 Cent shocks everyone after revealing he's sitting on 140 hours of unreleased footage from the Diddy documentary that Netflix refused to air. The streaming giant reportedly labeled it too explosive, but now leaked clips are surfacing showing exactly why it got banned, and it's absolutely devastating. 50 is now threatening to dump the whole thing straight onto YouTube. No filters, no safety nets. This is the footage they never wanted the public to see. December 10th, 2025. 50 Cent is laid back on Sherry Shepherd's couch, fresh energy, calm but calculated.
I want to congratulate you on your docuseries, Sean Combs, The Reckoning. It's #1 on Netflix. Yeah. Like, it's been #1 on Netflix. Did you actually expect it to be as big as it got?
I expected it to be bigger. It's actually exceeded my expectations now.
The conversation starts light, with Sherry congratulating him on the Netflix success and asking about a possible season 2. Then boom, 50 drops the bomb. Or I'll just put it on YouTube, he says, with that smirk that lets everyone know he's dead serious. Netflix only approved 4 episodes, but behind the scenes, the documentary team captured way more. A mountain of footage that never made the final cut. Material strong enough to stand alone without executives deciding what the public is allowed to hear. Everything couldn't make it, 50 explained on Sherry's show. It was only 4 episodes, so you had to pick and choose. What got left behind? A gold mine?
I think it was surprising that he actually filmed it.
It was very interesting to watch a man who's known for his brand presence. You know, he has a really amazing knack for marketing.
According to 50 himself, the editing room floor is stacked with 140 hours of raw footage. Fans caught on to it fast. When a video online started speculating about unreleased material, 50 jumped into the comments and confirmed it himself. Correct, he wrote, clarifying there's 100 to 40 hours of footage that never aired. Present tense, meaning it still exists, meaning someone, probably 50, still has it. I don't understand why he filmed himself, 50 said about Diddy's obsession with self-documenting, but I'm glad he did. That statement alone hits different. This material doesn't need Netflix approval. It doesn't need lawyers slowing things down. YouTube becomes the escape hatch, straight to the public. No filters, just raw truth. And 50 issued a warning. The people supporting him will be very quiet when more comes out. One example already slipped during the Sherry interview, something Netflix avoided because it didn't fit their clean structure. He chooses to date people who previously dated someone, 50 revealed, then he dropped another detail. Diddy had a baby with a woman who previously dated Tupac. That moment hung heavy. Sarah Chapman, mother of Chance Combs, born in 2006. Previously linked to Tupac back in 1995.
And so here in the case, we'd like to take a little bit more time and focus on some of the things that the jurors saw and heard. So we want to talk about the evidence of Kid Cudi's car. Leather lined with gasoline, luxury, cayenne-colored seats coated black with ash.
50 sees a pattern now, targeting rivals, even after death, turning old relationships into personal trophies. And the footage exists. Commentary buried in those 140 hours would have made this connection impossible to ignore. Netflix chose restraint. YouTube won't. Kim Porter's death in 2018, completely missing from the Netflix cut. The mother of 3 of Diddy's children passed at just 47. The conspiracy theories exploded afterward, yet the documentary avoided it entirely. Too sensitive, too controversial. Her children publicly rejected the theories, and Netflix respected their wishes, but questions still linger. 50 may be holding footage that fills in those missing gaps, answers sitting in a vault. Then there's the Cudi firebombing allegation raised during the 2025 trial. Claims that Diddy ordered an attack on Cudi's Porsche after a dispute involving Cassie. Trial testimony went deep. Molotov cocktail, failed ignition, forensic evidence. Yet Netflix minimized it. No definitive proof, heavy reliance on witness accounts, and major legal risk. But 50 might release those testimonies anyway. YouTube plays by different rules than streaming giants. The long-standing 50 Cent and Diddy beef, nearly 20 years of tension. And Netflix mentioned it 0 times, not once.
So this car was significant in many ways, David, because we saw it in the gallery and then the jurors saw it, because this is Kid Cudi's Porsche. It's the black one that was parked in his driveway in LA when he says that someone firebombed his vehicle. Let's go inside.
That was professional restraint from 50. He kept the focus on alleged actions, not personal vendettas, including it could have made the documentary look like a hit piece. Netflix demanded objectivity, but YouTube doesn't require it. The history actually explains why 50 chased this project so hard. what they call beef.
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right? For 20 years, right? It's me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester.
50 said, for 20 years, it's me being uncomfortable with him, suggesting that he takes me shopping. The Tupac murder deep dive touched the surface. Keith D's confession made it in, but there's more footage sitting unused, additional witnesses, financial trails, a deeper conspiracy still buried. Netflix stayed careful, avoiding lawsuits, keeping distance, but those 140 hours are too hot for corporate comfort. Time limits forced Netflix to make choices. What advanced the story versus what distracted. YouTube removes those limits completely.
Went away.
Went away.
Car, I said, I feel like I need to wash, like I'm dirt. That was, it showed you his character.
Was that the reason for including it?
Yeah, I mean, and what's the odds that you would do that in front of a camera?
Each revelation can be explored fully, and the white parties completely ignored. Legendary gatherings from 1998 to 2009. Everyone from Justin Bieber to Leonardo DiCaprio. All white dress codes, stilt walkers, pool swings. Diddy's team insists nothing inappropriate happened, but what does the footage show? Then there's Cassie's testimony from the 2025 trial. 4 days of emotional detail, alleged abuse, coercion, recording without consent. She testified about taking drugs just to dissociate during freak-offs. None of it made Netflix's cut. Too recent, too raw, too legally risky. But trial transcripts are public record. YouTube can examine it without censorship. This testimony helped convict Diddy on transportation charges. Some of the footage Netflix did use came from Diddy's own videographer, Michael Oberlender, who later claimed a third party leaked the footage while he was away. That alone raises serious questions about integrity.
The goal of what the film is trying to do is to let the audience kind of come in to ask questions like, were their decisions colored by certain things, and who got the benefit of the doubt?
Every storyteller should uphold responsibility, Oberlander stated. Diddy's team fired back with cease and desist letters, called the footage stolen, claimed it was never authorized, threatened billion-dollar lawsuits. Netflix stood firm, saying everything was legally obtained. That legal battle proves just how explosive the material really is, and this is only the beginning. Testimonies got cut for time. Allegations got labeled too sensitive. Connections needed more context than 4 episodes could handle. The full story around Sarah Chapman and Tupac. The complete breakdown of the Kid Cudi car firebombing allegation. Every detail. Netflix lawyers reportedly looked at some of this and said, too risky, and 50 already said it plain. The people supporting him will be very quiet when more comes out. 50 warned everybody, not like a dramatic threat, more like a promise. Because this isn't just about a streaming deal and a polished edit anymore. This turns into direct access, raw truth, no corporate filters, and that's exactly why YouTube is the wild card. No legal department hovering over every sentence, no executives panicking over backlash, just upload it and let the public decide.
I think it's important to also let people know that the show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. We weren't trying to just get the highlights, the salacious details, that the real goal was to storytell.
December 10th, 2025 could be the moment everything flips. When documentaries stop being trapped inside network rules and start acting like real-time conversations between the creator and the audience. Because 140 hours of footage isn't bonus content. That's a whole vault, and 50 is sitting on the nuclear option. Full story, unedited, unfiltered, ready to drop whenever Netflix's version feels incomplete. Ready to answer the questions Netflix left hanging. The vault exists. The footage is real.
Listen to me. I'm gonna get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what nobody said. Let's just, here or there, y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing.
And somewhere between his Instagram comments and talk show appearances, 50 made his intentions loud and clear. This story doesn't end with 4 episodes. It ends when every frame sees daylight, when every allegation gets examined, when those 140 hours become public record. That smirk on Sherry's couch said everything. The same man who's been warning people for 20 years now claims he's holding proof. Raw footage, not just rumors. Now here's the twist. Netflix only showed what they felt they could, because what they left out was way too explosive. December 1st, 2025, one day before Netflix dropped their documentary on Sean Combs, his lawyers reportedly fired off a cease and desist letter threatening immediate legal action. The footage in question, private moments filmed just 6 days before his arrest, including conversations with his attorney, strategy sessions that were never meant for public eyes. Netflix's response? They're releasing it anyway. But this is where it gets interesting. That footage Diddy's team is calling stolen. They claim it came from a documentary project Diddy started when he was only 19. Decades of self-documentation. Every major moment, every conversation, every decision. He filmed everything because he wanted full control of his narrative. The problem? He never finished it. And now Netflix has some of it. A spokesperson went public right away. We have confirmed that Netflix used footage that was never authorized for release, including private moments, pre-indictment material from an unfinished project, and conversations involving legal strategy that were not intended for public viewing. So what exactly are these private moments?
Not all. Look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as the hip-hop is fine with his behaviors.
According to Diddy's side, it includes footage of him alone in a hotel room, personal phone calls with his children, moments of vulnerability, fear, anxiety, stuff he spent decades keeping away from the public. One particularly revealing moment shows him in a vehicle after meeting fans. That scene hits different because of the timing. The footage was shot September 10th, 2024, 6 days before federal agents arrested him in Manhattan. By then, the investigation was already moving, and the claim is he knew serious charges could be coming. So he documented everything: defense planning, image control.
Sean Diddy Combs have now sent a cease and desist letter to Netflix.
That's right. They are demanding it not release a docuseries featuring the embattled mogul.
Collecting material for what he believed would be his version of events. And the legal strategy conversations, those are the ones setting off alarm bells. Calls with his attorney, Mark Agnifilo, discussing media perception, how to shape the story. That's exactly why his legal team came out swinging. And then comes the big question everybody keeps side-eyeing. Attorney-client privilege? That's the area his team circles around without saying too directly. Because here's the catch. If a third party filmed it, and that third party owns the footage, privilege gets messy. Diddy's team argues this was an unfinished life documentary project, material collected since he was 19, intended to be fully controlled by him. But because it was never completed before his arrest, it created a legal gray zone, one Netflix is now stepping into. And the key line in their statement? No rights were ever transferred to Netflix. According to his lawyers, the footage was created for a totally different purpose under an arrangement that was never finalized. But then it gets even messier. Reports suggest a freelancer who filmed some of the material had physical possession of it, and if payments or contract terms weren't completed, ownership can get complicated fast.
Put the stuff in my fanny pack.
The exclusive video obtained by Netflix shows Combs debating with his lawyers about strategy.
That cease and desist letter landed December 1st, literally hours before the Netflix premiere. The language was aggressive. Mr. Combs has not hesitated to take legal action against media entities and others who violate his rights, and he will not hesitate to do so against Netflix. That's a direct warning. But Netflix didn't flinch. Why not? Because Netflix is a multi-billion-dollar company with legal teams that clear everything frame by frame, every clip, every still, every second. They don't push publish unless they think it's legally solid. And this wasn't even the first time Diddy tried this approach. Earlier in 2024, he sued NBC Universal for $100 million over a documentary.
Fuck that. Oh, Lord, your way. I'm away. Lord, your way. Be with it. I'll accept it.
I need some hand sanitizer. Hold on, I got.
Diddy, the making of a bad boy. That aired on Peacock. That case being ongoing helped establish a pattern. Documentaries drop, lawsuits follow. But Netflix is a different beast. Deeper pockets than NBC, bigger legal muscle, and likely more confidence that they obtained this footage in a legally defensible way. And here's the part that really turns heads. When someone hires a person to film, but the deal isn't completed and the rights aren't secured, the person holding the footage may have leverage. If the filmmaker kept the material and ownership wasn't clearly transferred, that changes everything. Which brings it back to the bigger point. If Netflix only aired what they felt was safe,
I don't want to have a life to be able to live. You know, it's really going to be hard for me to take more hits than I take it, God forbid, get in front of a jury and have a chance.
what's sitting in the other 140 hours that didn't make the cut? Because 50 keeps pointing at that vault like it's the real story. And if he really puts it on YouTube, that's not a director's cut. That's a whole new storm. Diddy's team called it fundamentally unfair and illegal for Netflix to use his own life's work against him. They argued the footage was misappropriated. Decades of self-documentation that was meant to protect him now flipped into evidence that damages him. But courts don't care about what feels fair. They care about ownership, who filmed it, who possessed it, who had the rights, and that's where everything starts falling apart.
I've listened. I've been a superb client, as you said. I jumped on the plane. I'm coming to New York, but I'm just running around waiting for a shoe to drop.
So what did Diddy actually film? Everything, since he was 19 years old. Studio sessions, parties, business meetings, conversations with artists and executives, personal moments with partners, arguments, celebrations, and allegedly criminal behavior caught on camera. That's the danger of filming your entire life. That level of narcissism, believing you'll always control the final edit, thinking the cameras will protect you, never imagining they'd be the thing that destroys you. And 50 Cent already confirmed it. They had way more footage than 4 episodes could ever hold, meaning there's still more material sitting somewhere, waiting. Some people believe Netflix intentionally held certain topics back, stuff so sensitive that even their legal team didn't want to touch it. Not because it wasn't real, but because it was too radioactive. December 2nd, Netflix dropped the documentary anyway, despite all the threats, despite the legal pressure. And once it went live, it was over. The footage was out. Millions saw it. You can't put that back in the vault.
Because you may just be a person that you just may watch CNN. So you at the wrong place looking to see what the people with the possible jurors are thinking.
Then December 10th, Michael Oberländer stepped forward, calling himself Sean Combs' documentarian. He revealed he'd been working on a project profiling Diddy for over 2 years. And the footage everyone's fighting over, he says he didn't release it. The footage in question was not released by me or anyone authorized to handle Sean Combs' materials, Oberländer explained. He said it was taken by a third party who covered for him while he was out of state.
And since you didn't watch it, Ebro, there's one piece.
I watched some of it.
Where, there's very intimate footage of Diddy with his lawyers. But in the documentary, it also talks about how he hired a young person to film him.
3 days. That's all it took. 3 days for decades of self-documentation to slip right through Diddy's fingers. But Oberländer added something important. He said this had nothing to do with a fee dispute or contract issue. So if it wasn't about money, what was it about? He called it unethical. Taking footage meant for one project and using it to push a different narrative. But here's the problem. Ethics don't equal illegality. Netflix's legal teams cleared it frame by frame. The third party had possession. The transfer was lawful. And now it's public record. Diddy's team keeps threatening lawsuits. Same energy they used against NBC Universal with that $100 million defamation suit. That case is still pending.
Spokesperson for Combs accused Netflix of using, quote, stolen footage that was never authorized for release in what they called a shameful hit piece. A statement from the docuseries director says the filmmaking team obtained the footage legally.
The pattern is clear. Threaten everyone, sue some, scare none. But this time is different. Because this footage isn't hearsay. It's not filtered accusations. It's Diddy's own voice, his own strategy, his own admissions, including that moment where he says he needed someone who's dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business to help manipulate public perception.
So if Diddy never signed paperwork, he was like, no, I'm gonna get you when I get you.
Yeah, that's right.
Now Diddy never gave him $1. Now Diddy went to jail. He's holding all this footage. 50 goes, I'd like that footage. All right, how much, bud?
Yeah.
That wasn't an interviewer saying it. That was him. The man who filmed everything to control his legacy just handed the world the unedited version. Private conversations with his attorney. Moments of fear, desperation. Strategy talks about shaping media narratives, all captured by cameras he wanted rolling. Netflix released the documentary December 2nd. Millions watched, clips replayed everywhere. And his own words did more damage than prosecutors ever could. No cease and desist letter can erase what people already saw. That letter even named Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos directly, referenced family legacy, tried to make it personal, like pressure would make Netflix blink.
I think it was surprising that he actually filmed it.
They didn't, because when you're facing federal charges, when civil lawsuits are stacking up, when your leverage is gone, threats don't hit the same. That lifelong documentary project, the one started at 19 to build a legend, became the very thing tearing it down. The footage was created for a totally different purpose, under an arrangement that was never completed, held by someone with physical possession. When that arrangement collapsed, the footage became part of a story he never wanted told. Diddy's lawyers can file motion after motion. Netflix isn't taking it down, the footage stays public. The documentary stays streaming. Because in the end, the man who thought he controlled everything just proved he never did. And just when it looked like the Netflix fallout was the end of the road, something bigger was already loading. December 11th, 2025, the Netflix documentary racks up 40 million views in 2 weeks. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. 50 Cent is still sitting on 140 hours of unused footage. And he's not bringing it back to Netflix. He's taking it straight to YouTube. No corporate oversight, no content committees, no mercy. This isn't round 2. This is the nuclear option. Netflix gave us 4 episodes. Lawyers reviewed every second. Standards and practices cut anything too risky. Time limits force 50 to leave the most damaging material on the editing room floor. But YouTube, whole different battlefield. No network notes, no censors, no executives telling him what he can or can't say. No legal team sanitizing the message, just receipts, testimony, and whatever 50 decides the world needs to see. The chaos from that move would be unmatched. Netflix operates with guidelines, shareholders, brand reputation. YouTube doesn't care the same way when it comes to user uploads. First, access. Netflix sits behind a paywall. YouTube is free. Anyone, anywhere, instantly. Second, shareability. Netflix content stays locked in their ecosystem. YouTube clips explode everywhere. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, remixed, reposted, everywhere. Third and most important, control. On YouTube, 50 controls everything. Schedule, drops, edits, strategy. Netflix works on their timeline. YouTube runs on 50's clock. He could drop all 140 hours tomorrow, or stretch it out over months, one upload at a time.
Yeah, well, everything couldn't make the. It was 4 episodes.
Right.
So it was a lot. You had to pick and choose things. Like even in like an area where he chooses to date people who he knows previously dated someone.
And when that happens, everything changes. That moment in the Netflix documentary where Diddy greets fans in Harlem, smiling, shaking hands, then immediately asking for hand sanitizer. That scene already felt cold, but compared to what 50 is hinting at for YouTube, that was sanitized in every sense of the word. What Netflix showed was the clean version. What 50 is promising, that's the raw cut, no gloss, no soft edges. This time, G-Unit Film and Television wouldn't need a corporate partner at all. No distributor calling shots, no executives limiting what can be shown, no streaming platform worrying about brand image. This is 50 Cent moving fully independent, total creative control, sitting on material that could completely rewrite how people view the entire Bad Boy era. And the legal risks, he already seems ready for that smoke, because here's the thing, truth is a defense.
Well, that's why I wonder if certain things were left out because of Netflix not wanting drama. Like, we were talking about this yesterday, Ebro, like how did he not include any of the stuff and rumors about Kim Porter's death?
If 50 really has evidence, real footage, real testimony, real documents from credible witnesses, especially material prosecutors didn't even need at trial, that changes the game. So what exactly can Diddy's legal team do from inside a federal prison? 50's been vocal. He keeps saying what got left out of the Netflix documentary is the stuff that will shut everybody up.
I think it was surprising that he actually filmed it.
It was very interesting to watch a man who's known for his brand presence. You know, he has a really amazing knack for marketing and all of that, and how he was sort of taking that into account in how he was coming off to the public.
Revelations shocking even to people who were close to Diddy. Evidence so heavy it would make current supporters go completely silent. Serious allegations that were too graphic for a mainstream streaming platform to touch, not because they weren't credible, but because they were too damaging. There are witness testimonies prosecutors didn't use, not because they were weak, but because they weren't necessary for the specific charges at trial. Extra pieces that stayed in the vault. For years, critics brushed this off as rap beef, two egos clashing. But 50 always said this was bigger than personal grudges. This was about accountability.
The exclusive video also shows Combs in Harlem greeting fans.
Oh, yeah. I'm away. Launch your way, be with it.
I'll accept. I need some hand sanitizer. Hold on. I've been down the streets amongst the people.
The Netflix documentary touched on Keith D's confession. It mentioned Eric Von Zip. It showed a money trail linking Diddy to alleged hitman. But what it didn't show, the full extent of Zip's involvement, the complete financial records, testimony from people who allegedly saw the checks, heard the conversations, knew what was happening behind closed doors. The emotion is real. The pain is decades old. And 50 is reportedly sitting on hours of additional testimony that paints a much clearer picture of September 7th, 1996. Those alleged gang connections go deeper than what Netflix aired. Crips, Bloods, Bad Boy, Death Row, all allegedly documented in the remaining footage. Suge Knight knows what happened that night in Vegas. He was in the car. He lived. Tupac didn't. And that conversation behind the House of Blues while Tupac was still alive, that changes everything.
I feel like I need to wash, like I'm dirt. It should show you his character.
Was that the reason for including it?
Yeah, I mean, what's the odds that you would do that in front of the camera?
If the war was real, why were the CEOs talking calmly? Suge's version of what was said, what was agreed to, and what happened afterward could completely reframe the entire East Coast, West Coast narrative. And here's where it gets wild. 50 is allegedly sitting on prison interview footage with Suge that never made the Netflix cut. Raw, unfiltered, potentially devastating. Then there's Kirk Burroughs. He allegedly knew Biggie wasn't supposed to leave New York. Big ain't going nowhere, he told people. By Saturday, Biggie was dead in Los Angeles. Netflix showed Burroughs' journals, his detailed notes from inside Bad Boy, but only excerpts, only what fit into 4 episodes. 50 reportedly has the full journal scans, complete records of conversations, decisions, warnings that went ignored. Wolf Jones, Bad Boy security from the very beginning, one of Diddy's original financial backers. He refused to go to LA without proper protection. When security says they need protection to do their job, and that protection is denied, consequences follow. The allegation that Wolf was later killed because of decisions tied to Diddy is heavy.
They consider a pre-existing being, right? For 20 years, right? It's me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester.
And 50 is said to have the full story, complete with testimony from people who were there. Then it gets even darker. Beyond business, beyond music, there are allegations of personal abuse, claims that go past professional misconduct into deeply disturbing territory. Aubrey Day's interview exposed the long-term psychological toll. Years later, she's still processing, still trying to understand what happened to her. The affidavit she read in the documentary described a witness seeing her unconscious while acts were allegedly performed on her. She doesn't remember. She's not sure she even wants to. But the testimony exists, documented, consistent. That hesitation, that inability to fully confront what might have happened. It speaks to trauma deeper than any headline. She described a moment of self-forgiveness that came only after years of processing trauma she didn't even know existed. Netflix showed her reading part of the affidavit. But reportedly, there's more. More witnesses, more statements, more documentation tied to those parties. And that's the line Netflix wouldn't cross. But YouTube might. Because if 50 drops everything he claims to have, this won't feel like entertainment. It'll feel like a reckoning. If 50 really has additional testimony from other women who experience similar situations.
I mean, it's all f***ed up. It was a setup. It was a plot to murder my brother. I feel f***ed up about it. I don't know that nigga, but I ain't got no love for none of them. Straight up.
Who witnessed similar assaults. A YouTube release wouldn't just be content. It could spark an entire new wave of people coming forward. And here's what makes YouTube fundamentally different from anything that came before. Permanence. Netflix content cycles out, shows get removed, contracts expire. But YouTube, once something goes viral there, it lives forever. Clips get ripped, reposted, turned into TikToks, embedded in articles, shared across every platform imaginable. The Netflix documentary reached 40 million people in 2 weeks. Huge! But a viral YouTube moment, that can hit hundreds of millions. Broken down frame by frame, studied, argued, turned into internet history permanently. That's not accidental. That's psychological pressure by design. Diddy is currently in federal prison, serving his sentence. Knowing that somewhere out there, 50 is sitting on material that could reopen investigations, trigger new lawsuits, flip public opinion even harder against him, he's doing time right now in New Jersey. Release date set for May 2028. That's years of waking up every day wondering, is today the day? Every week, every month, checking to see if YouTube is exploding. Knowing his legacy, his empire, his reputation.
Wolf had already told, Anthony Wolf Jones had already told them, if you're not taking two tour buses of my niggas from the Valley, that's Co-op City in the Bronx, the Valley in the Bronx. If you're not taking these 2 tour buses of my niggas out there, I'm not going.
All of it sits in someone else's hands, and there's nothing he can do to stop it. No legal pathway to block footage that was obtained legally. No takedown notices if it doesn't violate copyright or platform rules. No corporate partner to pressure, because 50 is producing independently. And here's the part people keep overlooking. NDAs do not protect criminal behavior. If someone witnessed a crime and signed an NDA about it, that NDA is legally unenforceable, period. Which means anyone who attended these parties, anyone who saw things happen, anyone who stayed silent because of contracts or fear, those obligations vanish the moment criminal activity is documented. And if 50 starts dropping names on YouTube, that's career ending. That's lawsuits. That's investigations. That's potential criminal charges for anyone who participated in or facilitated trafficking, assault, or abuse. That's why the silence from other celebrities is so loud. Speaking out means admitting you knew. Staying silent risks being seen as complicit. There's no safe position when the evidence goes public. December 11th, 2025. No official release date announced, but everyone in hip-hop knows the truth. 50 is sitting on 140 hours of unused footage. The question isn't if it drops, it's when, and how much damage it does when it finally hits YouTube. If you want to stay ahead of this story, if you want updates the second anything drops, make sure you like this video, comment what you think is really coming. Share this with anyone who needs to see it. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next breakdown. We'll see you on the next one.